Angela from SpinachTiger.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really yummy pizza. We're going to use pears, prosciutto, a little bit of honey, balsamic vinegar, a little bit of goat cheese, mozzarella cheese. So I've already got my pizza dough done, and you can find my secret to authentic thin crust Italian pizza dough on the blog. Follow the link to this pizza dough and this recipe, and it's really pretty easy. I have thinly sliced my pears, and the way that I do that is I'll just cut it into sections like this and find a little, and then just thinly slice. And that's what we're going to use. And I'm just going to leave the skins on. And it's a nice crisp pear, and that's going to be really good in the oven. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with a little bit of mozzarella cheese as the base. Almost to the end. Now, I'm not one for a ton of cheese. You be the judge of that yourself. I'm going to start laying my pears. I want to make sure they're all pretty thin, kind of like the same, as in it doesn't have to be super fancy. You can see this is not a complete circle. This is a homemade pizza. So we're going to have our pears. I love to put fruit in pizza. I once made an apple cheddar pizza that was pretty awesome. So you can do a lot of things with your pears. Now we're going to take some of this prosciutto. Now I'm going to layer on a little more cheese. Okay, now I'm going to just rip the prosciutto. This is gonna, it already smells so good. I just could eat this. Just, you know, what's really good is just pears and prosciutto just by itself. Prosciutto is kind of expensive, so we get it nice thin cut, and a little bit will go a long way. This is gonna be so, I see some places that need cheese. I'll start, you know, adding a little bit of cheese in, and I need a little bit of goat cheese in here. So this is pretty soft. I'm gonna just put it, just a little bit here, a little bit there. Now I've turned my oven to 500 degrees because my oven will go that high. But if yours doesn't, just turn it to 450. And then put a cast iron griddle, cast iron pan on the bottom. Probably can't use a baking stone pretty much past 450. You don't want your baking stone to crack. So just be very careful about that. That's why I really recommend, as always, like the cast iron. And you'll see what that looks like when it comes out of the oven. What I've done is I'm using this pizza peel. Now, this is an important part of making pizza, and there's cornmeal, coarse ground cornmeal underneath, so that this is going to slide off into the oven onto that pan. So it's going to slide right in, so I don't have to worry about how am I going to, you know, get that in there. So I've got a little bit of goat cheese, not too much. And for right now, perfection. You can throw a little more mozzarella on there, and when it comes out, I'm going to drizzle it with some really good balsamic vinegar, maybe a dollop of honey. Honey, if you don't have the vinegar, maybe you could use both. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and it took about 6 minutes. I kid you not. Had a little overlap dough when we put it into the oven. Here's what I want to show you, how nice this bottom is. Nice and done, nice and crispy, chewy crispy. I'm gonna take a little bit of honey, a little more than that. We want to drizzle honey on this. Oh my gosh, is this ever gonna be like amazing? Now you just can't decide if this is dessert or if this is your regular entree pizza, perhaps it's just a little bit of both. You know, when that honey hits that hot goat cheese, and then I always like to put black pepper on everything. And then I might take a little bit of this nice syrupy. If you don't have a really syrupy, high quality balsamic, don't do it. Just stick with your honey. Oh my gosh, this is perfection. Now it's gonna be hot, but we're gonna, whoo, this is hot. Be very, very careful. Oh, by the way, this is the cast iron griddle that I use for the pizza because it can stand the heat. It's on the bottom rack of the oven so that underneath gets cooked really well, and don't go anywhere near the top of the oven because everything will burn on the top and it won't get cooked on the bottom. And let's see, how can I cut this? I'm still gonna wanna take a nice picture of this. Just get in and get a little section of it. So we've got a stand-up, chewy, crispy pizza, just like you see in Italy. And yes, they do a lot of different toppings over there, and they certainly wouldn't mind putting that prosciutto on there. Crust is amazing. You know, the prosciutto is a little bit salty. I think this could definitely stand a little more honey. That's gonna be the nice kind of surprise in there. So anyway, that's my pear prosciutto, a little bit of goat cheese pizza. I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss anything on the cooking channel. You can find me on Periscope at Spinach Tiger, where I do live streaming. And the link is in right somewhere here is going to take you back to the recipe so you can get it complete. Thank you for visiting SpinachTiger.com, cooking real food for real people from scratch.